Hi guys, and welcome back. On this video, we are going to add a Windows computer on Windows Server 2012 Active Directory. And to those of you that may be new, this is one of a series of videos where we have built our virtual home lab, and these are the topics covered. Download and install operating systems and program. Create virtual machines. Windows Server 2012, Active Directory, DHCP, and DNS. Adding users and computers, permissions, and group policies. Print server, basic PowerShell. Ticketing systems, remote desktop, and video conferencing. Now, we're going to make sure that both Windows Server 2012 and Windows 7A machines are running. Then we go to Windows 7A, and now we're going to make sure that Windows 7A machine can get a DHCP address from the server. Click on the Start menu, then on the search bar, we type in cmd, which basically is the command prompt. Then we are going to type ipconfig to look at the status of our IP address and the network interface. Now you can see that we have an IP address, which means that the DHCP is not assigning any addresses to this PC. And you'll remember from the previous video, this PC is indeed connected to the same network as the Windows Server network. So now we go to the Windows Server, and we are gonna try and troubleshoot the DHCP. Then we click on Tools and DHCP. Then on the Win Server icon, as you can see, there are two red arrows pointing down. This means that the DHCP service is not authorized. So now we are going to click on Authorized. And now if you refresh by simply expanding the IPv4 or IPv6, you'll see that it turns green with a little white tick. And now that means that our DHCP services have been authorized. So we should be able to get DHCP addressing on our Windows 7A machine. So we go back to the Windows 7A machine, type in ipconfig, but you will see something there. We still get the IP address. Now, I am going to attempt to release this address by typing ipconfig/release. It didn't work. I believe the reason for that is because the IP address is not coming from it was not leased by the DHCP. So I'm simply going to renew, and indeed renewing worked. As you can see that we got 192.168.10.100. That is the first address on our IP address pool that we've created on the previous video. Now we can just simply cancel this. Now that we know our computer can communicate with the server, we are going to go ahead and edit on our domain. We do that by right-clicking on computer and clicking properties. As you can see, it is still part of the work group. We are going to add it to a domain, and we do that by clicking on change settings and network ID. Yes, we want it to be part of business network. Then yes, we want it to join a domain. Then click next and then next. Now here we are going to add the domain user credentials, and that domain user is the administrator. So we're just gonna go ahead and make it administrator and add the password. Please remember that this should be the password you can remember. And on the domain name, we're gonna call it homelab.com. Just click next. Now, during the time of recording, I forgot to type the correct PC name. You are gonna go ahead and call it Win7A. I made it Win7 only. So, and then the computer domain is homelab. Now it's gonna ask you for the credentials of the account that has permission, right, to the domain, and that is our administrator. We just put those credentials about maybe 20 seconds back. So we're going to put the very same administrator there in the password, and the domain is homelab.com, and we click OK. Oops, something didn't jive very well over there. So let's see what oh yes, I didn't type administrator correctly, so I'll fix that. Click OK. Now yes, we are going to add, and then we are going to make this user the administrator, right, for this computer. So that's fine. We click next and then we click finish. Changes will only take effect after you have restarted, so we have to restart our PC. So we restart the PC. It's going to go through the whole restart process. Now you click Control Alt Delete, and just from this page you can tell we have successfully joined the domain homelab.com, and now you can just enter the credentials of the administrator and enter. You could also confirm by going to the Start menu, right clicking on my computer, and then right clicking on properties. As you can see, the full computer name reads win7.homelab.com. That means we are indeed part of the homelab domain. But you can see I had named my two Windows 7 machines 7A and 7B. So for those of you that didn't change it before, you can also change it here by just clicking on change settings and then change, and then typing the correct name. So in this case, it's going to be Win7A, and then you click on OK. But you can see that there are certain characters that Windows doesn't allow you. They are non-standard characters. So I'm going to change it to a dash instead of an underscore. Right, so I'm gonna make it win-7A, and I have to restart this PC before the changes could take effect. So I'm just gonna close and restart. And in the case of the Windows 7 machine, you can simply change the name here when you're adding the computer to the domain. So rather than having to go through two steps, you can literally change it here by simply typing Win7 Win7B homelab and then click next, right? You will follow that process. Oh yeah, by the way, remember it's a dash and not an underscore. So you can change it directly here. You don't have to first make that mistake and then come back later. So that's for the Win7B, remember. So I'm not going to go ahead with it since this is a Win7A machine. I'm just showing you how you would do that for the other computers. So we're going to restart now and just confirm if our name has updated. And indeed, we have successfully renamed our PC. So that's how we do it. Now we go to Windows Server 2012. Now click on Tools and click on Users and Computers. You will see there that our Windows 7A has been added to the Active Directory. So we have successfully added a computer to our Active Directory on Windows Server 2012. Now, if you click on Scope and you go to Address Lists, you can already see that we have Windows 7 being allocated the address of .100, and well, you can ignore this for now because I have not shown you guys how to deal with the Ubuntu PC. We are going to touch on that later, but this is just to show you that you can definitely add a machine by going through the process that we just did. On our next video, we will be using PowerShell to add a computer on Windows Server 2012.